You might have heard that BMW is planning to charge you for the privilege of using the heated seats already in your car. But it's actually a lot worse than that. But first, let me explain what's going on in a bit more detail so you're all caught up. BMW has started offering trial subscriptions for a range of features you previously would have had as part of either standard or optional configurations. Things like heated seats and steering wheels, adaptive cruise control, adaptive high beams, and speed camera locations, among others. These options aren't exactly cheap either, with the heated seats costing £15 per month, the adaptive high beams costing another £10, and the adaptive cruise control adding a further £35 per month. An important piece of context that most news stories have omitted about these packages is that there is an option for a one-time payment for all of the different packages. BMW calls it the unlimited option, which for the heated seats is £350 or just shy of 2 years worth of the monthly subscription. The other, arguably more important context is that these subscriptions, even the unlimited option, are tied to you, the current owner, and can't be transferred to any further owners, quote, without the consent of BMW. On top of that, according to their terms and conditions, BMW can cancel these subscriptions and therefore disable the features with just 6 weeks' notice for any reason. The most confusing part of all of this, though, is that you can still spec these options from factory as part of standard non-connected drive equipment, meaning that it's yours with no strings attached. So these options only apply to people who didn't spec features like heated seats or adaptive cruise control, but who BMW decided to fit those hardware modules and features anyway. That sounds confusing as hell. I mean, the front radar module alone is a rather expensive bit of kit that I can't imagine BMW would just decide to install in every vehicle in the hopes that later on down the line you might want to pay them for access to it. BMW will give you a free 1-month trial of any of these features, which now starts to explain BMW's motives. See, you rock up at a dealership, you look around and you decide you want, say, a 1 Series. You sit down with a salesperson who describes to you a great way to save money because, hey, the car can come with all of the features for free. Just sign here to sign up to the connected drive services and, well, 1 month after you got into your car, your heated seats start working, with an error message saying you haven't paid us enough protection money. BMW would have you believe that their subscriptions are akin to Netflix, but that's far from the case. The reason that you feel fairly comfortable paying for a service like Netflix, but hearing BMW is going to nickel and dime you for the use of your heated seats makes your skin crawl is pretty simple. There are continued costs involved in continuing to supply new and existing content on a platform like Netflix. You aren't just paying for the director's bonuses, you're paying for their server network, their bandwidth, their continued software updates, and of course the licensing fees for existing third-party content and the production budget for their own in-house content. What are you paying for, what are you paying BMW for with those heated seats? Oh, right, corporate profits. That's not to say that Netflix is perfect either, just to make that clear, but in the Beamer, you're paying for something that is no further cost to BMW. Now, to the point you might be thinking, but hey, the hardware is expensive, so of course you have to pay for it. Well, you didn't decide to have that equipment installed. You didn't ask for it, but BMW chose to install it anyway. The other bad news is that it isn't just BMW doing this sort of thing either. Toyota was caught up in a storm when the remote start feature just stopped working thanks to an elapsed 4-year trial that the second owner never knew existed. Actually, if the original owner or the buyer had picked the higher end audio package, it would have been a 10-year trial instead. And when I say remote start, I mean with the standard radio frequency key fob. No app, no servers, just the key talking to the car. But the car phoned home, saw the subscription wasn't paid for, and disabled the otherwise totally functional feature because a second owner didn't pay the... Well, at this point you should probably get the joke. So why are car companies doing this? Well, that one's easy. It's to provide secure revenue streams post-sale. In the pre-subscription days, car companies made money by selling you the car, then any added services like warranties and servicing. Okay, technically the latter is generally handled by dealerships who are legally separate and which themselves pay protection money to their selective brands alongside being the ones to actually buy the cars to keep in inventory. But that's a whole other matter. We'll deal with that another time. These subscriptions then provide a way for someone like BMW to keep taking money from you, even after they've sold you the car. Even after you've sold the car, they get to keep making money on it. That's it. It's not an innovative way to solve some problem. It's a way to extract more cash at your expense. So who does this hurt? Well, in short, everyone. In practice, the secondary market will be hurt the most. You buying a new car and paying £250 for the 3-year package of heated seats isn't quite as heinous as when you sell the car 2.5 years in and then the second owner finds out that the heated seats are going to cost them extra just to keep working. The real worst case scenario here, at least that I can see, is that these subscriptions get rolled into the monthly lease or financing agreement totals, because then it'll seem simple to buy all the tech for an extra £75 per month package, and then yeah, we're kind of truly screwed. Actually, the real worst case scenario is that they take this feature locking too far. And things like some of the engine's performance or efficiency or even safety things like the curtain airbags might be locked behind a paywall. Don't believe me? Motorcycle gear maker Climb sell a motorcycle airbag jacket that you can buy for cheaper if you opt for a monthly or yearly subscription service too. Which, if you happen to forget to pay for, means when you high side over your bike like a champion, the airbag will... well, it won't inflate. Seriously. There's also the problem of future compatibility. Cars that shipped with 3G connectivity are losing access to a large swath of features thanks to US carriers who are culling the older standard. One day 4G will be old and outdated, and cars that require an internet connection to allow basic features to work, like these BMW connected drive subscriptions, will flat out stop working regardless of payment. While there may be upgrades available, so you can upgrade the hardware or software to maybe just about keep things working, or maybe the automakers may choose to push a final software update that permanently enables those features, odds are we're going to be left with a load of cars that are perfectly capable of a large amount of useful or even safety related features, but that just won't work thanks to corporate greed. The one glimmer of hope here is that of hacking. Coding your car to enable otherwise disabled or hidden features isn't new. I use a third-party tool called VCDS for my Audi, and there are plenty from BMW and most of the other manufacturers too. And tuning companies like Litchfield have said they've already cracked the encryption BMW uses on their Bosch ECUs, so popping over to someone like them would be a good shout to much more cost-effectively enable all of those, well, otherwise disabled features. Of course, BMW and all of the other auto manufacturers will be in an arms race to lock out people like them, but I have high hopes for the community. So, in short, this is a terrible step in the wrong direction, where companies are choosing profits over people. Again, especially those buying on the used market. Well, it's hardly the end of the world. I feel it's important to shine a light on stuff like this so that more people can understand what's going on and make informed buying decisions where they can. With that said, those are my thoughts, but I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think about BMW's subscription program? Is it something, a terrible step in the wrong direction? Is it something that you don't mind so much? Feel free to let me know in those comments. If you want to see more videos from me, I have a whole load on the channel, from regular car reviews and first drives to things like how to fix your car and a load of other stuff like that, and a few other videos kind of like this, so feel free to check them out on the end cards. If you want to be notified of new videos from me as well, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon, and if you want to support the channel, you can check out things like the hoodies and t-shirts like this one, linked in the description. Otherwise, that's kind of it. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next video.